Hey everyone, this is Sherwin. I have not uploaded in a while, but basically, I was on a social media detox of sorts. Also, I went on a cruise with my wife for the holidays. So basically, I just got back, and I was like, I was also feeling like I needed a break, and it really helped because I just got a 5.0 and I wanted to just kind of just show you the deck and show you the 5.0 really quickly, going through it. I wasn't recording while this was going on, but I mean, I didn't know if I was gonna get. I didn't know I was gonna get a 5.0. It just kind of happened. So yeah, this is the list. It's pretty basic. It's pretty similar to Nikachu's list, except I am playing two Silver Gills over the two Spreading Seas in the main board. I just figured Silver Gill is still a decent main board card. I do. It's probably the card I boarded out the most though, because it doesn't do a ton in a fire ice red and six mana. It's pretty mediocre. So I boarded out probably the most card. I don't know. It's easy to board out as well, but yeah, it's still a decent game one card I feel. So yeah, I'm also playing the four dock hands. I just feel like yeah, just having a one drop on turn one is kind of can be kind of important. And yeah, we're just gonna go through the list. Basically, the eight one drops and the four vials as well, and then the four dismembers and two subtleties. Pretty similar to Nikuchi's list, basically. And I'm still on the chalices. I'm not on the Flusterstorm bandwagon. I was trying. I can tell you what I was trying. I was trying Test of Talents. It's not bad. You could play it. It's very playable. And like I don't know. If you didn't want to play the Silver Gills, you could play with two Spreading Seas in the main board over to Silver Gills, and then you could put the Test of Talents in that slot. That'd be fine. I'm sure that's fine. You know. So yeah, let's go through the games. I think it was Breach. Yeah. So game one. So I just go ahead and I'm on the blind. So I just kind of play Tide Shaper and go. I think I misplayed it in this game, but yeah, here I just attack them. They just played Canal. I think they're maybe living in, and if they're not Murktide, they're living in. That's my feel from Canal Pass. So yeah, I just attack, and I decide not to play the Lord, because I don't want it to just get bolted or heated. So I just kind of like I want to kind of feel out what my opponent's doing. So I just kind of and if they don't do anything, or if they play a Shredder or something, I'd play a Trickster. And then I can attack with Lord next turn, or play a Sveilun. Probably play Sveilun, so they'd have because I have two Merfolk in play at that time. But yeah, they don't seem to do anything. But yeah, they play a Saga, so that's a little alarming since I have this Tide Shaper in play, and and it is not in my hand. So, but of course I'm in the blind, so I think you want to use your mana on the in the blind. So there's no I didn't feel bad about doing this. It just kind of happens that they have the Saga, and yeah, of course they have Emery. So it sucks that they have Emery, but yeah. So I just kind of go ahead and tap down the Emery. Now I think at this point I just kind of want to try and kill my opponent, and I just find a Sveilun, so I just go ahead and play this. I play the dock hand. I go play this Sveilun, just to try and kill my opponent as quick as I can. And I think this presents the fastest clock, so makes sense to me. And here they just kind of pass with all this up, so this tells me that they're gonna be making a token. So now in order I go ahead and draw this land and I play it. I figured like I'm gonna want the blue source anyway, but I think that I made a small mistake here. I think I was supposed to play the dock hand. No, no, this is fine. This is fine. Honestly, this is fine. Yeah, so this is where I figured if they're gonna make a token, I'm just probably gonna trickster it. So I just do that. So I play the dock hand, and here this looks a little weird. But yeah, they are gonna make a token here, but they make it off a mountain, which is interesting. So they're still denying me island walk here. So They make a token. I'm fine with a token. I think I can just beat the token. So I think I make a mistake here though. So here you'll see in a minute. Um, so here let me see what I do here. Yeah, so they do play the Amber here. Um, I think on the upkeep I was supposed to play the Trickster on the Emery, so they can't like get back an Amber if this one goes to the graveyard. So unless they have Breach, and then of course we can't do anything about that. So but here they play a Grinding Station, and in response I'm gonna play the Trickster in response to the Emery. I'm gonna play Trickster response and I'll target the Emery. Because I could definitely kill them through this token. So this token doesn't matter to me. The Emery matters to me because it also is forcing if they have EE main board, it's forcing them to find it now. So here I do that. So they're just gonna target the bubble, which is fine. I think I make a mistake here. I could show. Yeah, they haven't actually played their land as well. I hear they play a breach, and I just concede. I honestly I shouldn't have conceded because they don't have red mana. I realized after I pressed concede that they don't have red mana. So yeah, I should have made them because if they have blue mana, because of Emery's legendary, right? They could only make blue mana off the Mox Amber. So, but a lot of the versions of Breach right now, they're playing Grape Shot. So they wouldn't have been able to kill me because they only have blue mana. And unless they have a land in hand, which is pretty likely they have a land in hand, because they have 5 cards in hand. It's pretty likely that they have a land, but I should have made them show me that I'm dead. This isn't enough. I my brain was just programmed to think, oh, they have breach. I'm dead. But that's not actually true in this case because in this case they need red mana, and they're not really playing Thassa's Oracle anymore. So the blue mana they don't just need blue mana to kill me, right? So yeah, this is not a kill unless they show me red mana. In which case like I said, they probably have it, but I should have made them show it to me. So this was a mistake. So don't make that mistake. Just don't do that. I realized after I click concede. So yeah, here I draw a Chalice, and it's a pretty good hand. And I figured since I don't have the second island, and if they don't do anything, I'll tackle with the Mutavault because I also do want to present a clock. So yeah, here's what I just go ahead and I'm doing that. I do play a Chalice on 0. I can basically in this matchup I want to play Chalice on 0 as soon as possible. So just really want to cut them off with the bubbles because the bubbles just let them dig so much, and it's they're very annoying, especially with Emery because it's just like a whole engine, right? So here I think they make a mistake. I think they should have just fetched the steam vents here. This is a mistake in my opinion, especially since you'll see, yeah. So they just play drum and pass, and I just attack with Meat Vault. This is the exact type of play that I wanted to open myself up to the turn 2 Mutavault attack. Now, typically you don't really want to go for turn 2 Mutavault attacks. It's just, I think my hand just kind of turned out in a way that I would be okay with losing. Not only would I be okay with losing this Mutavault, because I have a backup one here, I'd also like, I don't want to like, I want to like present the fastest clock as I can, and if I didn't draw the second blue source, that will allow me to do that. So yeah, here I just attack with Mutavault. And they play a bubble. I think they forgot I have Chalice in play. And yeah, here I just go ahead and I don't mind losing this Mutavault, like I said. If they heat, I will just play my Lord in response. So I'm not even like gonna play my Lord here. So and they do heat. They do bolt. So that's fine. I can't do anything about that. And here I just play. I just go ahead and play a Lord. It's fine. It's no big deal. And they just heat it. That's fine. And it just seems like they really kept a very heavy on a hand that's very heavy on like, you know, removal because they just let off with mountain. I think they're just really scared of Island Walk, and I'm not sure. And they're just really missing on lands here. And I think they've, at this point, have stopped having, um, what's it called? They've stopped having the, having removal spells, but I just play it slow, because, it's not, it's gonna be a 3 turn, it's gonna be 2 turn clock no matter what, because I just do 5 here, and then I put in a trickster, and then I can kill them next turn. So if they play a heat here, I go ahead and in response I buff my team. So it's pretty good for me. Yeah, and here they do that. So and they basically concede from there because I don't think they can come back from that. So here I drew a pretty good hand again. I have a chalice and I have a dismember. And it is a very weird opening, like Otawara into Shadow Spear. Like that's a very weird opening. And Aetherfell was a very good draw here. Then I play the chalice, of course. And they go Urza Saga. I have the Tide Shaper, which is really good. So this is a really good spot for me. And in case they have Mystical Dispute, I go ahead and play the Cavern. Makes sense, right? I go ahead and delete the Saga. It's very possible I could have played the Mutavault instead of the Island on turn 1, but I probably maybe even should have done that. Same logic as last time, because with the way you don't typically actually play the Mutavault in turn 1. It's just a very weird how it turned out, right? So yeah, here was a weird scenario. I thought I'll just attack with the Tide Shaper, and then I wanted to see if I could cut them off of off of the red and white mana. I didn't think it was gonna actually happen, but I just wanted to see what they'd do. This was more bait than anything. I didn't really care what happened to the Tide Shaper, but it is very possible I should have held this to play around a Saga or something. But I think I'm already I kind of have them on a little lock with between Hexcatcher, Dismember, and the Tide Shaper. So I just kind of wanted to make sure they bolted this thing instead of a Hexcatcher. So, and they made a big error here. They let me turn into an island, which grows these. They're supposed to do it in response, like ETB trigger on the stack, heated or whatever. But they let it go, and since they let it resolve, it's a 2/2, and yeah, here they get blown out again. So, and here they have Fury, which is they don't typically play Fury. They sometimes do. So that sucked. But I still think the blowout was worth it from last turn. So yeah, here they play a Saga, which is really unfortunate because. But then I top deck a Tide Shaper here. I think, yeah, really good top deck. Probably like an insanely good top deck. Yeah, probably one of my best possible top decks. I think, if not my best possible top deck. I could have top decked a Spreading Seas as well, but in fact, Spreading Seas might have been better. But yeah. Really good top deck. Here I'm just kind of drawing lands, and which is fine because I can leave up to Dismember, so I'm gonna hit him for 5. Now I have him on a 3-turn clock, and they don't really do anything from here. They play a grinding station, and that makes me feel like they just drew it the way they played that. So, and I just keep drawing lands. It's possible I could have just held those lands, but it's whatever. And yeah, they don't do anything here. They're just milling. And yeah, here they play Underworld Breach. Probably the worst Underworld Breach you'll ever see. So it's just to kill a Tide Shaper. Pretty poor. And here you have this funny visual glitch. They play Lord Asex, which is weird. It's funny that comes up in a replay too. But yeah, here I'm just gonna let me just kill you. So I did. So yeah. That was round 1. Round 2 is Hammer. Game 3 was kind of crazy. I'll show you. Yeah, so that was unplayable. No spells. So yeah, this hand was pretty awkward. It's tough, right? It's like, you can dismember these Esper Sentinels, but But the way this turned out, it didn't turn out in my favor. You know, they played another Esper Sentinel, and I'm like, okay, at this point, I don't want to pay. I don't want them to draw 2 cards for every Esper Sentinel, so I just go ahead and dismember to one. I just kind of wanted to see what they'd do, so I took that damage. And here they play a hammer, so that tells me that strongly indicates to me that they have a pure steel paladin. And I'm still I have a really awkward hand, right? Because I don't have double blue here. It's possible I could have just mulliganed this hand, but I thought it was playable enough in the dark. But it's very possible I could have mulliganed it. Let me know if you would have mulliganed that hand. And here I was just like, oh, here's another S% Sentinel, so I'll just the same big as last time, except they won't draw any cards since I have another land in play. So, but now it's like, you know, since they have pure steel paladin, it sucks. Maybe it's very possible I could have just held on to it, but I still want to use my mana, so I went ahead and fired off to Dismember. So it just sucks both ways. It's very possible I could have just played Hexcatcher, and then next turn held, just have the Dismember up for the pure steel paladin, but then they'd have 2 Esper Sentinels in play, and they draw 2 cards. So I don't know. It's hard to say, and it sucks because like even if they do that, they can play the paladin and then move over the hammer to one of the sentinels. So it just like holding dismember is not even that good. So it's like I'm just being put in an awkward position because the way my mana worked out, and because of the way they drew, right? So here they basically I'm resigning myself to if they show me a pure steel paladin, I'm just gonna concede, and they do, so I conceded. And I can't block them anyway because they're just gonna go ahead and equip both the hammers to the brute. So yeah, that was just a very awkward hand the way it turned out, right? A lot of the hammer matchup is your draws have to line up against theirs, so and this hand's really good. But I realized it didn't have a second blue source, which is fine. But this is awkward, right? Here, I'll show you how this turned out. Here is art on Sigarda's aid, and I'm like, that's and I don't have a second blue source, and I would really like to have one. So I go ahead and this is a very awkward play. I actually go ahead and spreading seas my own Mutavault. I know that sounds insane, but like I wanted to unlock my mana, so I just kind of I wanted to I want to draw a card. Maybe I can find another land, and because I really want to find a land right now, and I really wanted to get a second blue source to play any of these cards, right? So yeah, here they play us Giver Runes, and I'm fine with that. And this is a pretty slow opening from them. I might not, if I'm on their end, I might not even have kept this hand. So, but I top deck a Chalice here, and I'm like, that's fine. But then I realized I made a boo-boo. I probably should have. It's possible I shouldn't have played the Chalice, but I felt like, you know, with their leading on Sigarda's 8, they might just have some hammers or something like that. So I thought, let's play it. Let's play out the Chalice, right? But uh, they go ahead and march the Chalice, which has actually worked out really well for me because now locks my Tide Shaper. Now I can hit the Urza Saga. Yeah, here I play. I top pick a Cavern. So actually, if the Chalice stuck around, this would have actually been good for me because of the Cavern prevents the Tide Shaper from being countered. So here I just top deck this at a pretty good time, huh? But yeah, here they play another Saga, which is unfortunate. But yeah, here I'm fine with just dismembering this thing. If they have Blacksmith skill, I'm pretty cool with it. I just wanted to get it. I want to get it out of their hand because I have these as backup. So I just figured, yeah, okay. If you have Blacksmith skill, cool. Just do it to me right now. It's very possible I get blown out by a Hammer there. Uh, and it's possible it's not even the right time to do that. But yeah, I think that's probably. I think it probably is better to wait till the end of the turn. Now I think about it, because if they play a hammer response, it would have been really bad for me. So yeah, I think it's probably better to just dismember at the end of turn and see if they like play a hammer or something, right? So it's probably. I think in hindsight, that's probably the better play. Yeah, they played Pictonino and Aether Vial. I'm not sure why. That was very weird. I don't particularly care about this card, right? So, especially this late in the game, it doesn't matter to me, right? here they play. I play Lord, so I tight shit. I just hit him. Yeah, it's unfortunate that this saga's about to go off. But I think I'm just gonna dismember it, right? Yeah. But then I top deck Tide Shaper. But then here I'm like, okay, if they play if they make a construct, I'm just gonna blow it up with. I think I'm just gonna dismember. Yeah, I'm gonna dismember the construct if they make one. Um, Worst case, I can play the trickster on it. So yeah, here they don't decide to block, so I go ahead and just blow up the saga. And I don't care about the 2/2 here. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, I think it's possible I'd have just let off with this play, but I think this is fine. Um, I want to give them an opportunity to use their mana on a blacksmith skill, but it's very clear at this point they don't have it. So if they play a hammer here, I'm gonna fire off and dismember. So, but basically nothing. Yeah, if they attack, cool, but they don't, so that's fine. Here I play Trickster on main phase. It's possible this was not a good play, but I think this is fine. Just get the construct out of the way so I can safely attack. And then I I think I was a little I jumped the gun on that one. I should have left that as member because in case they top deck a hammer because yeah. But it also made me think that I can never die if they have one hammer if they because they would need two to kill me, right? Because it'd only be a 10-10, so yeah, they would need two to kill me. But of course, like there are crazy things that can happen. But I think this is I at this point I think they're drawing air. Um, so yeah, and they concede here. It's possible I could have played this game a little tighter. Yeah. Okay, here is a pretty average hand, but I felt like these two cards interact, so I just kind of left. I just kept this hand. And yeah, this is a little awkward, but that's fine. And here, I was like, okay, hold on. Let's slow down here. Okay, so here they play a Sigarda's Aid, and then they went Urza Saga. So I actually F6'd, and then I turned off Idle Yields as soon as I saw the Urza Saga. Um, and it kind of made them think twice about playing the hammer because I'm really representing this member here. So they attack and they fought for like 5 minutes, a very long time whether to use this. Not like 5 minutes, but you know what I mean. Like they thought a long time about whether they wanted to use the hammer here, and I was just like, I don't have shit, right? I'm just holding up, like pretending I have dismember. I don't, so I just take one. That's fine, you know. And yeah, here I just go ahead and I blow up the saga because that is a guaranteed hammer. And if they do have a hammer here, they're gonna play it right now. And they do have the hammer, so my bluff worked out really well. Um, so now they're just. I am not in the best spot still because this Ornithopter is a 10-10. So yeah, here I decide, you know what, I'm gonna try and if they have a second hammer, I can't beat that. There's no way I can beat that, right? Because then there's two creatures I can't deal with. So I just go ahead and I block the Esper Sentinel here. I don't mind taking 10 because I have a Trickster for for the next turn. So here I just kind of block the Esper Sentinel, see if I can get some. If they have a hammer, I lose anyway, and they put it on here. Well, if I lose my creature, fair enough. And if they blacksmith skill, even better. Um, so yeah, we'll see what they do. And they do blacksmith skill, which is really good for me. That's how I win this. It's part of how I win this game, getting the blacksmith skill out of their hand. I'm not sure why they did it. I think they should have just. I think they should have let this trade happen. Honestly. Here I draw Dismember. So the Dismember I was telegraphing, but yeah. Um, yeah, I do Trickster on their upkeep. And they don't do anything because the Sentinel can't attack into a Trickster. So now I know for sure they don't have another Blacksmith skill as well. And here I decide my avenue to victory is probably gonna be to island walk and win. But here I'm throwing my trickster under the bus because my master is giving me power and this is giving me island walk. So I want these two around. So this trickster is gonna be under the bus. So basically, they're putting me in the abyss on every turn, but it's also making it so that I do have to find an angle to win, right? So this is my angle, right? It's not the best angle, it's granted, but yeah, it's working out perfectly at this point because now I'm just playing my lords. This is an attack for 9, so like this is very possible I can race this, and unfortunately they do have path here. Um, But, attack for 7 is not bad, so we take those. And this Lord is going under the bus, so... Yeah, goodbye, Lord. Sorry. And they play Thoughtseize here. So they're on this, I guess, white-black version, and I'm perfectly fine. I'm not even going to dismember a response, right? I'm perfectly fine. I don't want them to draw more cards with this Esper Sentinel, and I'm perfectly fine with just letting them have my dismember here. And I drew a Harbinger, which is absolutely perfect. It is absolutely what I needed right now, because now his hammer is... They don't have a paladin in play, so now his hammer gets detached, and there's no way to reattach it unless they draw another paladin. So, perfect spot here, right? So here I played Harbinger, and I do hold a dismember because, it's my avenue to victory. And I do have a pretty good shot of killing them next turn anyway. So let's see what they do here. And they do go ahead and throw the Sentinel under the bus, which I'm perfectly fine with. They play Silent Clearing. They play with a wrong land too, which is interesting. So, and they're just drawing. I guess they have a lot of Ornithopters, and yeah, this is lethal. Very lethal, because especially because of the Island Walk, and I'm like, I decide to attack with him anyway. Maybe it's possible I don't, but it just they lose. So, all right, and now we're playing against. This is interesting. This is an interesting match. Okay, so there I'm on the play. I played a duck hand, and they go Asmo, and that's what freaks me out. Turn 1 Asmo is not... That's difficult to deal with, right? So, it's very... I don't like how I played this game. I should have thought about it more. But I did go ahead and trick service Asmo on the upkeep. Maybe I could have held on to it for a little longer and played Lord here instead, but yeah. I don't like how I played this game. I'm going to be very clear with you. So I played the Trickster. It's very possible I should have just played the Lord, like I said. So, because, once Asmo has... it's very hard for this not to kill things, because it can do it on either player's turn. So, Here they play Fury, which is really bad for me. And then they play a Cookbook, which also sucks for me. And here for whatever reason, I play Sfeilun. It's very possible I should have just... I play Lord and play Tideshaper, but I don't know. It's hard to say. And here they play Rootwalla, too. Oh, it's looking really bad for me. Because now they're just going to play... I think what I was thinking is I wanted to use my mana efficiently, and I wanted to, if they had the Daredevil thing, I would have, that would have ended me anyway. I would have just conceded if they showed me Air Daredevil, but they are discarding real cards to the food tokens, like actual cards. So they do have a chance of running out of steam here. So yeah, and they play Neonate there. And yeah, here I go. I drew Vile, which is pretty atrocious, but it's fine. And I can cut them off of green here, so I do that. So, and I play a Lord here. And here they're gonna do their Asmo thing, kill my Lord, and attack for a lot, and it's looking pretty bad for me, right? Until I top deck Sfeilun, and that's probably my best top deck. They have no cards in hand, so they can't cookbook right away. Um, and my Svaluna is indestructible because I have Mutavault. So that was like probably my best draw possible. So drew really well this league. Here I'm not attacking with Tide Shaper because I don't think I'm blocking anyway. I think I'm blocking. If I'm gonna block anything, it's gonna be the Root Wall or the Asmo. I don't think I'm double blocking this, so I just go ahead and get into Tide Shaper. And then just attack with Neonate, which I don't care. That's fine. I go to 6. Whatever. And here's one of those funny scenarios where the Manamo comes up. So I do attack with this Feloon because I do have this Manamo to untap it and block something. So that's really good for me. So I attack this Feloon, and Island is actually a really good draw. Uh, because now I can untap Svalun, hold play the Kex Catcher and hold up a Mutavault activation for a removal spell. So it's really good. I play the land. Here they go sacrifice the Neonate. That's fine. Here they play a Hollow one, which is kind of scary, but doesn't really do anything. Here they attack with Ruvala. I don't think they're aware that they messed up in a few ways here. They they, they don't have their island here, right? So they don't have a red source. So I didn't know what they could be up to, so I just decided to attack, block with my indestructible creature. Of course, it's unfortunate I have to show them this now, but whatever. I don't know what kind of mana shenanigans. Oh no, they have no cards in hand. I lied. Yeah, I probably should have just. They made a mistake. I should have just blocked my Tide Shaper. So here I'm just gonna block with Svalun. But I should have blocked with Tide Shaper for sure. They made a bad attack there. I play the Hex Catcher there. And yeah, I just, leave up the same thing. Svalun. And then I play Tide Shaper. And these Aether Vials are worthless at this point. They're not going to do anything for me, so. They play Cookbook. They discard the Vengevine here, and this doesn't matter. So I block, and as soon as they see this block, I'm like, oh, they're like, oh, we're done here. So yeah, I was gonna block with the Tide Shaper, I think, yeah, because they have no cards in hand. So yeah, but yeah, that was a really that was a hairy one. It took them misplaying a little bit, and then me finding my out with the Manamo to get that one. Yeah, this was an interesting hand. They play Burning Inquiry. I think this is definitely a keep though. It just kind of unfortunate how it turns out here. I discard 3 spells and I drew like 1 spell and 2 lands. And they play a Hollow one, but luckily I have a Dismember to kill the stupid Hollow one, so I'll do that. And they have Flame Blade Adept. I play a Lord here. And if they play a Burning Inquiry again, I'd probably just let this one happen. They play Neonate into, I think, a Burning Inquiry here. No, they play Asmo, yeah. So that really sucks. And I actually do let this go, because I think one of my best ways of winning this game is playing as Feloon. No, I think I should have just forced it. I think I should have just forced it. I think, yeah, maybe, because then they can't make food. Yeah, I think I should have just forced it. I think that was a mistake, I think. Yeah, because now they had a Root Wall on hand too, so I think it's just better. It was just better to force it. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know. I think what I was thinking was that I play as Feloon. No, I don't know what I was thinking. Quite honest with you. But I drew top deck Feloon, which is actually a really good draw. Because they'll kill this Feloon with food. but then they don't. They play the Burning Inquiry because I guess they want to race with Flame Blade at that. But I think they should have just killed. I think they had this opportunity to kill Svaelun, so they should have done it. Not sure what was going on. And they have this weird attack. I don't think they should have made this attack. This attack was pretty suspect to me. Attack with Asmo for some reason. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of suspect stuff going on this league, huh? Yeah, here I just kind of just knuckle up. I am at 6, so I kind of have to preserve my life total, and these idiots have menace, so I have to make sure I make an attack that doesn't kill me. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. They don't attack again. And here, yeah, I think I just played Lord and attack with I think just a Svaelun, right? And Island's a decent draw actually. They sacrifice the food. They play Neonate, so they grow these idiots, and I think they go swing for defenses at this. No, they play Burning Inquiry. Yeah, that's right. And I maybe should have fired off a Dismember response here, but then they wouldn't have made the attack, so I'm not sure. But I do have Type Shaper, so now I have lethal for sure. Yeah, they go for this attack. So I just go ahead and animate both Mutavaults. Double block, and then I'll dismember the other one with the Mutavault. I only lose one creature, and they're very dead to this Island Walk, as you see. Very dead. Extraordinarily dead, yeah. Alright, gets burn. Very interesting. Yeah, so I keep this hand in the blind, because, you know, it's fine. And then they go X out Rift Bolt, so that's really unfortunate. So I do think one of my best lines of victory here are Tide Shape the Inspiring Vantage. It's very possible it's not the right line, but yeah. Um, I think my plan was I was gonna Tide Shape for my own Mutavault. I think that was my plan. I think that was my plan, right? I think I got a little, yeah. Maybe shouldn't have kept this hand. I got a little lucky here, I think. I drew Cavern, and here was they're really telegraphing Boros Charm here, so I just kind of want this to be bait. I want this to be a Lightning Rod, because I don't really care as long as the burn doesn't go to my face, right? Yeah, it's very possible that I should have just played this on turn 1, but I think with the way this game has turned out, I think this was my best play. Yeah, so they're to go Boros Charm me, which is fine. And they do bolt that, and they play Goblin Guide. And here I subtlety that. I subtlety and exile a Trickster. I figured they're probably going to bottom the Goblin Guide, so that Trickster's not going to be that relevant, so... And that is exactly what happened, so... And I play a Svaelun here. It's very difficult for for Burn to kill a Svaelun. They have to, like, 2-for-1 it. They have... So basically, the best way for them to kill it is to bolt it and then blaze it, so... But yeah, here I decided I'm just gonna play a Lord. And of course, I'm leaving up the indestructibility with Svaelun. I'm just drawing very poorly here. Like, none of these... Pretty much my whole hand is all blanks at this point. And they do blaze. They pay for it, which is fine. I draw Hexcatcher here, and I should have put it in before damage, but I think I forgot. Yeah, that was a mistake. But yeah, again, not drawing very well. But so yeah, in my shame, I played it on my second main phase instead of their upkeep because I don't want something weird to happen in response. So I did play a Rift Bolt, so they aren't dead on board, so I have to go for it. But here's an interesting play. What I should have done here, I should have just like went like Animate Mutavault, played the Dock Hand. Because yeah, I think There's a lot of things that could happen here. So I think what I'm supposed to do is I think I'm supposed to play dock hand. Um, and if something if like nothing happens, that's fine. Uh, but I could always play Mutavault Response, or animate Mutavault Response, and then sacrifice that to whatever 2 mana spell they have. But yeah, um, I don't know. This is weird for me, right? This is a weird scenario. So I probably should have played the dock hand. I think pre-combat I supposed to play the dock hand, but yeah, it didn't end up mattering. But yeah, they can see it here. Here, they play Goblin Guide, which sucks, but I think let it go. Ah, yeah. Here, I was really debating whether to play a Tide Shaper on turn one, but I don't think I care to save 2 points of damage. I thought it was if they played an Eidolon, I would rather play it with subtlety. I would rather subtlety it, and then I'd pitch the Tide Shaper. So I felt like that was more important to me at the time. I don't know if maybe that's wrong. It's very possible that's wrong, but I felt like yeah, let's play Tide Shaper. So, well, let's pitch the Tide Shaper to subtlety in case they have an Eidolon. Uh, and then I would hopefully I either if I draw a blue source I probably Harbinger this or if I don't I play the Chalice. So that was my plan. And I have a lot of things going on here. So and I go ahead and here I do go ahead and wow I pitched the Harbinger. Oh I think it's because I had the double blue. That's right. I had the one blue source. Yeah, I think that makes more sense maybe now that I think about it. Yeah. And they did top the Goblin guy, which is interesting. So they attack me here, and they know about this Hex Catcher. That's important. Yeah, they show. I see Hex Catcher, right? Um, oh, they suspend Rift Bolt here, and I decide, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play this Chalice and if they go Smash, they're very likely to go Smash because if they don't have another land, which it's likely they don't. They they'd want they're incentivized to smash on their main phase. Um, so that lets me force. And if they smash on my upkeep, I can hex catcher. So um, like if they don't want to play around force, I could I can bring in hex catcher and counter that. So I think both ways this chalice is pretty safe, and their goblin guide is blanked because of the chalice. So they do rift bolt me here. I take 2 more, which sucks, but it's whatever. And they see force, so I decide, yeah, let's go for it now. I gotta smash, so I do have force, and I pitched it hex catcher. And what's really convenient here is I can play the Tide Shaper under the chalice because of the cavern. So I do that. And now, since they drew a Goblin Guide, basically, right? So now they're not really going to cast any more spells, so that's really good for me. Yeah, so that now I just take another for Goblin Guide. It was a cavern, which is lucky. And now here I just attack with Tide Shaper. I'm just gonna try and race at this point because now they think I pitched my Hex Catcher, so they think this is gonna trade, but that's not the case. I'm gonna line up this block, and then I'm gonna bring in this Hex Catcher here. That's a really fun trick. That's a really good trick. And I'm even safe from smash if they do that. But now they're pretty much gonna die. So yeah, they see the writing on the wall. Yeah, unplayable miss. No lands. Here I think I was a little greedy. I think I bottom. I should have maybe thought about bottoming the Trickster. Um, I did bottom the Cavern though. So let me know if you think that's better. Because I top pick a Svelune here, and I'm like, maybe I should have bottomed the what is it the Trickster. I think my thought was I wanted to play like if this was a Saga deck, I wanted to have a Tide Shaper, and if this was a Ren and Six deck, I wanted to have a Hex Catcher. So, um, and I wanted to play this on turn one no matter what. So I think my thought process here, it's better to bottom the Trickster in that case, right? So, but it's very possible this. I felt like yeah, I'll be greedy. I don't know. Maybe that's not the right line of thinking. But yeah, I did go ahead and play stock hand. They don't do anything. Um, they play Wooded Foothills and Pass, so and I left this up in case they did fetch at the end of my turn. I do lose 1 point of damage there, but I think that's okay given that it lets them not get a tri-land if they did it that way. So I'm fine with that. At least threaten it, right? And now I can still hold this stuff up, but yeah. Here I think they played Bitter Reunion. I wasn't sure what to do with this one. I figured it's such a strange thing to see Stomping Ground as a Temple Garden into Bitter Reunion, so I didn't know what this was, right? So I just kind of felt like if they played a weird Persist deck, I would go ahead and, not... I'd go ahead and not let them put that Archon in the graveyard. Not sure if that's right, but I think that's the line of thinking I went with. But I did top deck the island, so I am able to play with Sfeilun here. But here they go, I don't know why. Man, all my opponents were really scuffed today, huh? Prismatic Ending, and has Ward. They messed up their sequencing here. Very poor play by my opponent there. And yeah, here I just go Tide Shaper to Temple Garden. Because I figured they're a Solitude deck at this point, so they want the white. They do play the Abundant Growth there. I thought in case they have Fury, I don't want to play this Lord. So that's why I do it that way. And here they play Monkey. I think I should have went with my original line of thinking and just dismembered this thing. But yeah, I go ahead and Trickster it instead, and then they concede. So I'm not sure what the hell this is, right? So I just board as if it's elementals, but I also left some stuff in for the Ragavans. Yeah, this is a really strong hand. But they weren't able to dismantle it, unfortunately. Yeah, here I go ahead and I want to be able to counter like a fairy or something like that, so I just leave this up. And they do play the Teferi, so like I actually thought they would fable me here, so that's what I was wanting to counter here. So I did go ahead and do that. Maybe it's possible I should have left the I should have sacked the Hexcatcher instead. But I think this is fine. This line is fine. So I attack with Hexcatcher here. Play Sfeilun. Here I have Force with the Sfeilun backup, which is nice. But unfortunately, they go Prismatic Ending on the Sfeilun. So I do go ahead and like force that. And then they go Veil of Summer. So I do counter that with the Hexcatcher. So I'm able to keep my Sfeilun around. It's possible I could have left it, but I think it's fine. Because, my Sfeilun, I'm not able to hardcast. I think if I was able to hardcast Sfeilun, I would have let that go. Sorry, I would have hard cast the force. I would have let that go. So I draw horrendous here. Like this is pretty bad stuff. I play Omnath here. In response, I'm gonna dismember the trigger, and unfortunately, they are able to kill my. No, they. Okay, never mind. It's able to draw again with Svelun, so. And I think yeah, I want to make sure this is a two-turn clock, so I just bring in the Hexcatcher. And I'm kind of playing around Fury again here, and I'm able to use the Force with the Master, so. But they go Shaping You, which I didn't know this was going to happen, right? So this sucks a lot. Uh, but I do have the Force, that's good. But then they have Veil of Summer, which really sucks because this means that I have to sack my whole board because they're gonna bring in Portal Phyrexia, and that's gonna make me sack my whole board. So I literally have to do this. Like I have to sacrifice Saloon and the Hexcatcher here, and that's a top deck war. And what's really frustrating is they have food here, and they just basically at this point they have better top physics than me, and their deck top picks in general top picks better than me. So I do get close, like in some instances here. And yeah, I get they have Solitude, and then Solitude's not gonna beat a a 1/2's not gonna beat a Solitude. So unfortunately, they can race pretty well here. Yeah, this Solitude is just a problem, and they found the Omnath as well. So, and they were able to get some garbage out of their hand with the Bitter Reunion. So, just a really bad spot for me. I need this to basically. I need them to whiff the next turn, basically. And of course, they have another Solitude, so they don't. And I concede. So yeah. Yep. It was a very close one, but they top pick better than I did. So. Yeah, here I kept a one-lander. I thought the hand was good enough to where if they played a prismatic ending, I would have just forced it. But yeah, it does suck to do that. But yeah, here is an interesting scenario though. I do drop deck the land here, which is interesting. Um, I decided to play the Tide Shaper on the Stomping Ground. Um, I figured if the Stomping Ground is important, they would attack you know the Ragavan into the Tide Shaper, and then I would surprise with the Dockhand. So I do that. And they play Solitude, which is interesting on my Tide Shaper, which is like it's like crazy to me. But they really want the red and 6 to go through, so I figured this red and 6 seems important. So for them to 2-for-1, so I will also 2-for-1 to get rid of a red and 6. I am running a little low on cards at this point though. And here I target Stomping Ground. Maybe I should have done Tumble Garden, but this at least prevents red and 6. Another red and 6. So that was my logic there. But they do have another Stomping Ground. The... No, I don't know what they was thinking here. Yeah. Either way, it doesn't really matter which one I target at this point, I think, right? Right? Yeah. I think they're both equally important. But yeah, I do decide to kill Ren and 6 here. It's pretty easy to just kill Ren and 6 at this point, so I just do that. I can mask the Hexcatcher, which is nice. They don't go, yeah, so I just go Hexcatcher, and then here I'm just gonna swing for 7. Pretty nice sum. And they cycle. And here they're forced to use food to stay alive. So that's fine. Just, I'm gonna go to 2 here, and if I bid a reunion, they still won't find anything. And then I swing for lethal. So that's nice. And that's the 5-0. Alright, thanks everyone for stopping by, and I'll see you guys later.